Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts and thank you for being here with me. I appreciate any of the likes, shares, subscribes, and of course comments. They really do help. So I want to talk about the new declaration of war, or the onset of the next phase of that declaration of war, and that would be the, what is it called? The Omicron. And it's been announced all over the news worldwide. And of course, they are talking about it coming out of Africa. It actually is coming out of Botswana. And so Botswana is very much linked to, in Gematria, the New World Order type of deal. And so I wanted to look up some of this Omicron. The word really stood out to me. So I'm going to share the screen. Share, and so I just wanted to know where it sat in the what do you call it again, the Greek alphabet, because we've obviously been following this. We've obviously been looking through the lens of this alphabet as far as the declarations of the various different levels of war that they've been putting on the collective. They've been using the Greek alphabet with their intent as part of their magic, as part of their spell work. And so we've gone through a lot of it already regarding frequency with the delta, with the beta. We've gone through all of that, and it decrees war via frequency. I've talked about that a lot. Frequency hooking into what is in now organic matter. A lot of bodies are walking around with an infusion that would create a relationship, various different degrees, between frequency and organic matter, frequency controlling that organic matter from within, i.e. controlling the body of somebody who is carrying this around with them, depending, as I've said from the start, before they even brought this stuff out, depending on the type of infusion that they've had, because there are different ones, and they are picking and choosing where and when to use them. And so if we look at Omnicron, in this alphabet, it says Omnicron, and it has the writing in the Greek, is the 15th letter in the Greek alphabet, written as O, looks like a 0 in uppercase and O in lowercase. Though initially the capital Omnicron was used to denote the asymptomatic growth of a function, the symbol now is rarely used, as it is practically the same with the letter O in Latin alphabet. Now, going back to this a bit to say Omicron was used to denote the asymptomatic growth of a function. I want you to keep in mind with this wording, the words gain of function, and all of the information that's been trying to come out about that. Stuff I was talking about again from the start to say this was happening. The gain of a function of something, i.e. taking something, changing it up, slicing it, dicing it, adding to it, in order to make it have a extra function or extra functions. And that is exactly what has been happening. And that was the war that was waged. But it was more about the treatment for that weapon of mass fear. It was more about the treatment and getting that treatment into the body. So it's like that double play kind of thing, that sleight of hand. And so it talks about, we've heard the words asymptomatic, you know, it doesn't matter if you're asymptomatic, you know, it doesn't matter. You still could be growing something. You still could be transmitting something, which is a gain of a function in this whole scenario. And so we're going to start to hear a lot more about just fear everybody, fear the body itself. Going back to this, it's the 15th letter in the Greek alphabet, 1 + 5 being 6, 6 being the makeup of a man. And so we're going to start to see a lot more about just fear the man in general. You know, we've put you through the fear of an invisible monster. We've put you through the fear of, through politics. We've put you through all of that rigmarole of fearing the actual physical sneeze and physical cough. Now we just want you to fear the fellow man in general. Just do it en masse, you know, make everything much more simple, much more clear. You fall into our hands far easier if you can trust no man, because anybody could be growing something and being used functionally as a transmitter of something. And so just fear everybody. It's one of the final nails in the coffin to divide and have people feel so alone, so isolated, not even trusting their own body, their own makeup of a man and woman, but, you know, their own makeup, not trusting the fact that I feel well, I look well, or I've got a cold, I've had these before, not being able to even think clearly, this is what they want, about your own body, being able to read your own body. And so right now, you know, I had an asthma attack a little while ago. You know, I picked up a cold or something along the way that's added to that. And so I can hear my body. I can hear, Jessie, I am doing stuff, but I've got to take it easy too. And I can hear my body healing. I can hear my body fighting whatever it is off. I can hear my body telling me, again, big up to Jessie, I can hear my body telling me to add or take away certain things, do and don't do certain things. I can feel that, I can hear that. Right now, this is an attack to stop that from happening, so that your consciousness is physically separated from your body, the way that you can intelligently think and reason, being an important word, reason with the signals and signs that your body is giving you. To separate, that would be to separate the consciousness from the physical being that is housing that consciousness, that is animating and directing that physical being. And so the body itself. So you can see that this is a really strong aspect of their so-called plan, of their the want and need to bring about demise to many, many people. This is a very dark ritual. I got very horrid vibes from it the moment they announced it. The zero being the fool in tarot, and so it is about going on a brand new journey, and this is going to bring up some brand new things that we start to have to consider, to work around. The main thing coming through of dividing the consciousness from the physical body, dividing the connections between one and another person next to them, to isolate, to separate, to imprison the body and therefore the consciousness, because the consciousness is working through this realm into this body to animate and bring about a certain balance to this realm. So you can see that everything does change from here, for better and worse, and everything does start from here again for us too, in that all of the considerations before and workarounds that we've had before this, yeah, super important to continue, but there are going to be added extra things that we have to really see the truth of and work around and figure out, and a lot of it is going to be to do with frequency, and them changing the frequency with the satellites again that I've mentioned a good while ago now, where they distort the natural frequencies from the stars and bounce them around where they want them to hit. And we obviously know the integration of that number 5 and the letter G. So all of that is going to be culminated and have the switch switched on, just like the Christmas lights at this point regarding the next stage. So, you know, it is a very interesting time for sure. Now, what else did I want to show you? There is something that really came to my attention just when I quickly looked it up. Now, I haven't got time to research the actual business the way I would like to, But this company, when I was looking it up, came up, and it is actually called Omnicron. And there's something about this. So I'm just going to read it from a tarot perspective, and all of you researchers out there, all of the people that know how to really dig deep in that research, that a lot of people like. I rely more on the psychic and a bit of research, but the balance for other people who rely on research. Would be super cool if you felt the urge to have a look at this place, because it gave me chills, physical chills. I don't like it at all. I think there's going to be a lot to come out about this company in the future, and there's just something not right about it. So from a tarot point of view, what about Omicron? What about Omicron, the company? Omicron. I keep saying Omicron. Like omnipresent, isn't it? So there's the 6 of Wands that comes out for this. So they're going to be gaining in a victory right now. They're going to be expanding, and a lot of money is going to be made by them one way or another. They are a part of this one world order. There's celebration here with the 3 of Cups, and so they expect them to combine also with some new bodies, like absorb other companies that do similar things, absorb them into the Omicron body as a business. And that's going to be, unfortunately, a great celebration for them, because it feels like, yeah, they're part of this imprisonment. Like I said, the separation of consciousness, animating the physical realm here through these physical bodies. And so the 9 of Swords comes up with that. So I do feel that a lot of people who have been infused will, with a certain strain, with a certain color top bottle, will start to really have the most distressing nightmares, and finding it difficult to sleep, i.e. finding it difficult to get that body to switch off, or sleeping too much either, but feeling exhausted. And so we've got the 3, 6 and the 9 here, and it's coming through for me real strong that, you know, that saying 3, 6, 9, if Tesla's speaking about the magic of the numbers 3, 6 and 9, we've got 6 of Wands here, we've got 3 of Cups here, and we have the 9 of Swords here. We have 3, 6 and a 9. And this is about, for me, that, you know, he knew so much more about the way that the consciousness relies on the 6, the makeup of the physical body, to be attached to this realm. The collective reasoning of the three coming together to animate the being on different levels, you know, through spirit, through physical, through soul level, and all of them being like a part of that should be able to work as one machine, one being. There's a lot of his work coming forward right now, and a lot of his understanding of frequency and how that would work to either culminate the 3 and bring the 3 together to work so symbiotically and be so powerful in doing that, and indeed separating those 3 just enough. And so there's that coming through very clearly for me as I look at these cards, which isn't good. And it's so annoying in that these things that I spoke about a long time ago, frequency carried through light, I know could absolutely, and I know that this is how ancient ones lived thousands of years, in that they knew how to use light to regenerate the body, to really be able to rebalance the body no matter what, pumping through certain light frequencies in various different ways through the body, also carried in sound. And so it's really annoying that this brilliant re-knowing of stuff, of our ancient knowledge, again, is being used for such bad intent by a few. It really is annoying. So let's go more, please. Let's just a little bit more, please. So the nightmares, for sure, the visions of them doing things that they would have never dreamt of doing to loved ones, to strangers, really freaking a lot of people out. And also, I do feel that this is particularly, Liverpool keeps coming up for me, a city in the UK. But I really do feel like I warned previously that through these frequencies, things like stabbing and attacks that don't make any sense, really truly increasing to frightening levels. And we're sort of already seeing that in the UK. But when these frequencies are played out through the 3 into the 6 into the 9, people are reacting. So we've got 7 here, 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, the bridging, number 7 being the bridge, taking away, breaking down the bridges. We might see actually within this Omicron ritual, we might actually see bridges accidentally falling down, or even worse still, being bombed as a symbol to symbology added to the ritual. Because this would be symbolic of them breaking down those bridges that bridge the whole being together, like I just described with Tesla's work. And so it ain't pretty, it ain't nice. On the bottom of the deck, we have the High Priestess. And so this speaks about the hidden coming forward, and really having to dig into that psychic and intuitive side, as well as the physical research side, to be able to be like Odin, to search, to dig deep, to be worthy of going beyond the veil of pomegranates here, to see the hidden, to see some of the ancient truths. You don't get beyond that veil without being worthy. If you do, then there are problems, because you're a neophyte with too much information. Now, what do you then do with that information? Do you use it for bad intent? Does it actually spin out your chakra system to the point where you send yourself crazy? You know, you've got to balance it out. When you seek that wisdom, you have to be ready for it. A lot of the people who have been living their lives and being very distracted, and who have been good people, you know, but coerced into this infusion for the main part, you know, this pumping of frequency into a receptor of black goo. I'm not going to say that what it's derivative of and where it is in the infusion, but you know what I mean, which is programmable matter, is very, it spins these people out, and it breaks down those physical bridges and etheric bridges to be able to work as a whole being. And so very much so, a lot of people being animated by a different consciousness that's being pumped into them through frequency. And there's something about this business that is going to help them do that. It'll come out. And so please keep looking at it. There are far better researchers than me in the people just subscribe to this channel, you know, so, you know, spread the word about it, keep looking at it, and please let me know about whatever you come up with. Now, I really would like people to go back and look at my Utopia videos, writing on the wall about Utopia, and what I picked up in the credits at the start of each episode. And it was a flash on a piece of paper. I will look those up, and they were studies. There were studies about M, and then an R, and then an A, and then an A. There were studies about that I couldn't understand, and I would love people to share that about, because I want to know exactly what those studies were speaking of, what they depicted. And some of them have now disappeared off the internet when I try and do it again, but that video is still up, that video is still there, so please have a look at that. I appreciate you all. Much love, much balance, and much wholeness. Be very discerning right now, and be very sovereign with your energy and where you put it. You know, it's so important. And don't doubt your intuition. This is a moment to really test how much growth you've done in being able to trust your intuition and have your intuition on point enough to guide you in the right direction. Much love, balance, and wholeness. Mwah.